Hey guys, welcome back. Did you hear that? Sometimes when I do my intros for my videos and I say welcome back, I think of Welcome Back Kotter. Some of you will remember that show. What a great show that was. I really do miss like 70s TV shows, early 80s. You know, like I loved Fantasy Island and The Hulk and MASH. What was the other one? Oh my gosh, Hogan's Heroes. You know, like I have such good memories of, you know, being young and watching those shows and looking forward to certain evenings during the week when my TV shows were going to be on, you know what I mean? And like getting the TV guide in the mail and like going through it, you know, from Monday to the end of the week and like circling everything that you want to watch. Times were so much simpler, I feel like, before internet, right? Anyway, alright, enough of the reminiscing. So today I'm going to do a drugstore look for you guys. I really wanted to use that Model's Own palette that I got from Ulta. The one thing about this, I would consider this, what the heck is that? Oh man, I need to put my glasses on. I thought that was some kind of massive rodent outside along the fence. Anyway, I got this Model's Own palette. I feel like, I mean, this palette was, I think, $17.99, which I feel like is a bit pricey for drugstore. Is it? I'm not sure. I know that L'Oreal palette, I think that was only like, what is it, $12 or $13, something like that? I don't know. Honestly, I don't pay attention. I don't buy a whole lot of drugstore palettes, so I'm not sure like what's a good price. I had that Wet n Wild palette. I think I paid $6 for that. So anyway, I'm rambling now. But I got this palette when I was in Texas. Like I said, it's the Barely There palette from Model's Own. I will show you what it looks like. I do like that there's a good sized mirror in this, although I don't typically use the mirrors in any palettes, but for those of you that like to, it's a nice sized mirror. Here are the colors. I tried swatching these two. But to be honest with you guys, I don't really like swatching eyeshadows with my fingers, even if my hands are clean, because the oils from your fingers interfere with the powder and blah blah blah. So I'm just going to use them today, and also I think I'm going to use the Model's Own Color Chrome palette as a base underneath whatever shadows I decide to use. Yeah, there's a bit of a reflection there. Sorry about that. So anyway, we're going to use all drugstore today. And I'm going to start off with my eyeballs. I am going to lay down a little bit of a base, like a primer. So I'm going to use this Milani Shadow Eyes. The color is called Almond Cream. It is gloomy today and rainy, and I'm not hating it. Sometimes I just really like rainy days. You ever get like that where you just, you know, you've had your fill of vitamin D and you just want like one of those really comfortable days where you just kind of sit around in your pajamas all day and watch TV? Yeah, that's what today is like. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set everything that's on my eyes. Now, this color here is called All Natural. Anyway, it's a little bit on the pink side, and I don't really want to use a pink base, so I'm just going to pop into my NYX palette here, and I'm going to use a flesh tone color just to set this. Alright, now that we have our base down, I am going to grab a brush, and I'm going to go into Nude here, this color, and that's going to go right into my crease. I may have to dip into another palette for a crease color because this one is barely showing up. Alright, I'm going to go into Buff, this color here. That's going to go into my crease as well. We're just going to layer on a bunch of stuff, why not? And I'm just using the same brush. Okay, I have a feeling that this palette is not going to work out too well for me. I don't have, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't do sort of Barely There eyeshadow hardly ever. I can't remember the last time I did a sort of Barely There look. So I'm probably not going to get like a ton of use out of this palette, but for those of you that like sort of neutral looks or barely there looks, I have a feeling that you're really going to like this palette. Alrighty, next up I'm going into the Color Chrome palette, and I'm going to use this one here. It is called Electrum. That one right there. That's going to go on the lid. And I'm going to put this from the inner corner to about halfway. Alright, and then from the Barely There palette, I'm going to use this one here. It is called Bare Skin. And I'm just going to use the little brush that came in the palette. Alright, and then I'm going to go back into Buff. Put this right into the crease. For those of you that are particular about powder kick-up, if you can see around that eyeshadow, how it kind of just sort of blew out. That sort of thing doesn't really bother me, but I know some people are really particular about that, so I figured I would show that. Alright, next up. Alright, and the next color that I'm going to use is this one. Is called Stark. That one there, and I'm going to use that same little brush. And we're just doing a basic look today. I'll use the little blender brush end here. So this shadow looks a bit sort of skippy. The pigmentation isn't the greatest. Okay, so I wanted my look today to be all Drugstore brand, but the problem is I don't have a Drugstore brand eyeliner in the color brown. So I'm going to use this old one. You can't get this anymore. It's from, do you guys remember Gemma Kid? Used to be sold at Target years ago. I bought this eyeliner from that brand, and it's always just sort of sitting here, so I probably shouldn't even be using this today, but I probably should have got rid of this a long time ago. So we'll see. If I break out in some like disgusting rash on my eyelid, I'll know why. Alright, so I'm going to use this brown. Alright, I think what I'm going to do now is take an angle brush, and I'm going to go over the top of that with the brown eyeshadow that I used in the outer corner here. And that'll kind of darken it up just a little bit more. This is where I start to run into trouble. Like, I'll get it just right, and then I decide, oh, maybe the wing is a little too long, or you know, my brain will look at it and say, oh, that's uneven, you gotta go in and fix it. And then before I know it, I've really screwed things up. So it takes me a long time. One of these days, I'm just gonna let the camera run while I'm going in and like trying to fix things and make it, you know, look even. Of course, I'll fast forward it because you guys would tune out after 5 minutes. But I'm gonna do that one of these days and show you guys just how long it takes me to mess around with these stupid wings when I get going. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and put on a little bit of mascara. For my mascara, I'm using this one from L'Oreal. It's the Voluminous Superstar. It's got the primer and then the mascara. I've been using this one for a while now. I really like it. The reason that I use L'Oreal is because I was told that L'Oreal and Lancome are the same. And I happen to really like Lancome eyelash primer, and I have a feeling that this is probably the exact same thing. So I buy this because it's much cheaper. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of my face. For my primer, I'm going to use this one from e.l.f. Alright, and then for my foundation, I'm going to use the Serum Foundation from The Ordinary, and I'm going to apply that with my Real Techniques sponge. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the Hard Candy Color Correct Cushion Wonder. This one is called Neutralizer. I put a little too much on. Alright, and a little bit of concealer. I'm going to use the Rimmel Matte Perfection. I have Fair. I really, really like that concealer. I like it a lot. Alright, and then for powder, I'm going to use the RCMA No Color powder. That powder is really cheap. It's not expensive at all. So some of you may not consider it drugstore, but for the amount that you get, I think it was, I don't remember how much, but I remember it being really super cheap. So I'm going to use that on the sponge here to set. Okay, and then for all over face powder, I'm going to use my Rimmel Stay Matte. This is one of my favorite powders. I use it a lot. And then to add a little bit of warmth to my face, I'm going to use this LA Colors contour palette. I'm going to mix those two there. I feel like I look ghostly, don't I? I think I do. I think I look rather ghostly. Okay, and then for a little bit of highlighter, I'm going to use this Pixie highlighter that I have. I don't even know if they make this anymore. I don't have any drugstore highlighters. So this right here is about as close as I'm going to get. Oh, I lie. I'm going to use something that you guys can still get your hands on. Makeup Revolution to the rescue. This is a beautiful highlighter, is it not? It's called Peach Kiss, and I really like it a lot. Alright, so we're going to use that. Alright, and then for blush, I'm going to use one from this Makeup Revolution palette. This is the Hot Spice palette. I think I'm going to use that one there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows, and I'm going to use that same color. Actually, I'm going to start with a little bit of, actually no, am I? I'm going to put a little bit of wax in. This is the e.l.f. wax pen. And then I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution brow pomade. I have dark brown. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's going to rain again. Alright, eyebrows are done. They're a little bit on the strong side today. That's what happens whenever I use a brow pomade. They end up coming out a little on the strong side, but that's alright. Every once in a while, I do like to have a strong brow. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes. I'm going to do them just a little bit on the smoky side today. So I'm going to go back into Stark, and I'm going to use the little brush. So I like the pigmentation on this color. It's coming up sort of true to what's in the pan. The other ones were a little on the sheer side, but I feel like using the Color Chrome palette really helped bring out my lid color when I used this one here. So I'll swatch it on my finger. So there it is. It's not too bad, but again, I feel like it's a little bit on the sheer side. So now I'm going to use the fluffy side and just kind of buff this out a little bit. There, I like that. Very nice. Alright, then I'm going to pop a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes, and I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof Mascara. This is the worst mascara ever created, but because at the moment it's the only waterproof I have, I'm going to use it. Okay, I'm going to move on to some lips. Do you guys remember when Rock and Rose was like my favorite lip liner? So I'm going to use a little bit of that. If anyone's wondering, it is from Jordana. It's cheap and it works very well. And then for lipstick, I'm going to use this one here from Wet n Wild. It's called Bare It All, or 902C. That's what that looks like. Ooh, those two go together quite well. Alright, so very quickly I'm going to add an inner corner highlight because I forgot. And there really isn't a good inner corner highlight in that Barely There palette, so I'm going to use this one from NYX. This is the Warm Neutrals palette. one of my most favorite. I'm going to use this color right here from my inner corner highlight. Someone, actually Beth, she tagged me in a post on Instagram. Somebody had compared this palette to the new Urban Decay Heat palette, and they are pretty close. Yeah, the colors were super, super close. So I have all of the other Naked palettes, and I feel like, you know, it's almost kind of like, well, you have all the other ones, you might as well get this newest one too. But it's like, at what point do you finally tell yourself, okay, enough's enough, I don't need all of them? You know what I mean? Especially considering I barely reach for those palettes. I've been making more of an effort to reach for them. I made a mistake buying the Naked 2 palette because I am not a cool tone person at all. I do not like cool tones. I will use them every once in a while just to do something different. But like, this is even a little too cool for me. I feel like cool tones really drain the color from my face, so then I feel like I need to go overboard with my bronzer or my blush, kind of like today, to warm my complexion back up. But I don't know, I'm still going back and forth. I need to see it in person before I buy it. I'm not gonna purchase that online and then end up hating it, you know. I got lucky with my Dose of Colors Baked Browns palette, but I looked at lots and lots and lots of pictures, and I don't know, you can always return it, it's just a hassle. Okay, enough of that. So I'm done. You guys will have to let me know what you think of my look. I do like this palette. I feel like if you are the kind of person that really likes neutral colors, or if you don't like a whole lot of color, then this palette is definitely for you. This shade here and the lid color had a decent amount of pigmentation, but the other two that I used, you know, it wasn't quite as much. So, but I think it's a nice palette. I'm glad that I got it. I'll keep it, and I'll definitely use it on days where I just want something quick or I'm not in the mood for a lot of color. But let's be honest, that hardly ever happens. So I've been wanting to do a drugstore tutorial for a while, but all of the drugstore eyeshadow palettes that I own, I have used in a video before, so I kind of didn't want to do like a repeat. So when I found these, I was like, yes, new eyeshadow palettes, new drugstore tutorial. So anyway, please let me know what you guys think of my look for today. Let me zoom in so that you can get a decent look. I think it's pretty. Like I said, the colors, a couple of them are a little bit on the sheer side, which is fine, especially for those of you that really like sheer eyeshadows, or you like the sort of barely there look. I think this palette would really work out for you. Also, for those of you that like to wear more neutral looks for work, or let's say your job requires that you don't wear a lot of makeup, this would be a really awesome palette for you. And I'm really, really digging the lip. I don't know why I never put this combination together before. So alrighty, you guys, that's it. I'm gonna go. Don't forget to let me know what you think of my look for today. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.